Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? You guys ready for another exciting day? It's a new month. It's March 1st. It's March 1st. You know what that means? It means you're a little bitch. No, it means that it's a new month. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything special. You're not special. I want you to hear a message. There's nothing special about you. Everything that you think makes you amazing, there's 10 million other people who can do the exact same thing. Nothing about your life matters. You're not amazing. You're just another random person. You're not special. Nothing about you is remarkable. You're gonna die alone. Chat. We need to talk. I mean, we don't really need to talk. I mean, like, when somebody says that, like, usually it's like they want to talk about something, right? So, like, your girlfriend comes in and she says, we need to talk. Okay. Neuron activated. Chat. Today's Sunday. Day of our Lord. And, we need to, like, look at, like, the world and not look at it. Actually, we should think about it. We should talk about it. Not really, actually. No, I mean, not really. Not really. We don't really need to talk about anything. You know what? We could just talk about coffee. I like it. You guys want coffee? You guys drink coffee in the morning? Oh, that's their poll for today. That's what we can have for our poll for today. Oh my goodness. Okay, today's poll. How do you like coffee? Hey, what's up, Coffee Black? Oh shit, I mentioned coffee. I summoned coffee. What the hell? I summoned you. Like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I summoned you. I summoned you. Okay, there we go. We got a poll in the chat. How do you like your coffee? Black as hell? Milk? Cream? Or some hippie stuff? How do you guys like your coffee? How do you guys like your coffee? You love coffee? I can tell. I can see it from way over here. That you love coffee. I have summoned the beast. Why is it when Adele sets fire to the rain, she gets a Grammy, but when I do it, it's dangerous eco-terrorist? True. You guys, we need to talk. Something about Mary. What about her? What's considered hippie coffee? I mean, if you would know. like I wouldn't know. Nobody knows. Only the hippie with the hippie kind of stuff would know, right? You know what I mean? 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 Okay. People put different stuff in their coffee. Okay? And depending on what that stuff is, it determines your worth as a human being. Okay, this is serious stuff. Okay, when you put stuff in your coffee, some people put hippie stuff in their coffee. I don't know what that hippie stuff is. It could be like, some kind of like cinnamon. It could be like sage or like olive oil. Okay, but I don't know what that is. The only person who knows what it is the person who puts it in. I guess it's like a miscellaneous option. Cream. You guys like cream? I like my coffee black as hell. Soy decaf, fair trade stevia. Yeah, exactly. Heaven Riney knows. So either you are the hippie or you work at a cafe. Yeah, we got our black as hell coffee. I grind it manually. Joining from North Korea? I highly doubt that. Your gameplay is so good and funny. This is not gameplay. Whoa! You guys need to calm down in chat, bro. Tone it down like 2.5 notches. No more than that, though. Any more than that, I'm gonna get you. Why are you sitting like that? Why aren't you? It's good for your like blood circulation. It's good for your blood circulation, chat. It's good for your blood circulation when you sit like this. It's good for you. Like black coffee. This speedrun is crazy. Yeah, speedrun being a loser. I have the high score. G-Dog, I actually would think that baristas would be extremely happy that you just want black coffee. It means they don't have to add anything to it. But also, coffee connoisseurs appreciate the raw, robust flavor of coffee. Like, this is what we want. Like, if you're a coffee connoisseur, you drink coffee with grounds directly in the water. Okay, like, like that's like the. Is it pink? Yeah, I'm wearing a pink shirt. It's not good for your knees or ankles? What are you talking about? It's called a deep squat. Deep squats are hella good for you. Called a deep squat. Hella good for you. Hey Lexi, hi. Are you level 99? You're high level. You're high level. You're like in endgame content. Called a deep squat. Good day from Australia, mate. Why, not just water? We're talking about coffee. We're not talking about water. Do you like black ducks or white ducks? Dude, that sounds like racism. Do it be grippy? You guys have no idea. Dirk Diggler, that's a character in a movie that I think I randomly saw. In case nobody says it to you today, you're beautiful. Bye. Thank you, Animatiz. And it is. I like coffee with tea leaves and boiled water. That's coffee and tea at the same time? Bruh. 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 What is wrong with you, bruh? You got coffee with tea and coffee. Boogie Nights. Boogie nights. Gank mid free matcha. That sounds like hippie stuff. That's green tea. That's not coffee. We're talking about coffee. Keep focused. Keep yourself focused. Chat. Keep yourself focused. Stay in those long periods. Damage. No, it doesn't. Not if you have strong knees and ankles like I do. Raven. You guys need to exercise more. No, you should be able to sit. I mean, I wasn't born. I wasn't like, okay, so people in certain cultures, apparently it's called, some people call it the Asian squat. It's actually like a worldwide thing. A lot of world cultures sit like that from a young age. And so it builds strength in your like, in your ankles and stuff like that. But you can train yourself to be able to hold that position for like, you know, a pretty good amount of time. No, what you're thinking of is when you sit like this. When you just sit like with one leg up and the other feet up. This is really good for you. It's good for your lower back. It's like a deep squat, right? It's like a deep squat. Really good. It like aligns your like stuff. Are you girl? Yeah. Don't you see my titties? Jesus Christ, bro. I am female coded. What more do you guys want? Like, yo, what's up, Mr. Alan? Alephantul? That kind of position on a toilet? Yeah, I mean, actually, the Western toilet is actually not good for you. Like, it's actually better to squat. Like, squatting is way better for you. What the hell? Jess Colonel Chizgonde. What kind of name is that? What the fuck? Are you gay? Why are you gay? How are you gay? Why are you gay? How are you gay? Tante, what's up, Bima? How you doing? Can I call Mio Mister? Who's Mio? Sini Mine K Indonesia? What? I don't know what that language is. A Swedish YouTube rapper called Cersei? What is this, Game of Thrones? Am I safe to be gay? I mean, you're safe to be gay, you're safe to be trans, you're safe to be straight. You're safe to be, I mean, I know this might be controversial, but you're safe to be Christian. I'm not going to persecute you like the Romans. Okay, okay, like you're safe to be Christian. Okay. Gay, I'm gay. Gay. Oh my goodness. Chat, I'm still not even finished with my coffee here. Why are you doing this to me? Why do people like to change their genders? Why do you like to change your mom? What's the motive of this stream? Do you need a motive to be alive? And to be here and be present and to talk to all you beautiful people? Why do I need a motive? Why is being here not enough? In Gay of Thorns, they sit like this. Exactly. Second time you come up on my feed? Hell yeah, that's some good analytics right there. Thank you for providing me with analytics about my YouTube channel. Do you change genders with a button? I mean, if you call a clit a button, you change your gender? You know, sometimes you just have to change your gender. And, you know, like, have you ever played a video game and you played a male character and then you played a female character and you felt better because you didn't have to stare at a guy's ass all day? It's like that, but like 10,000 times more realistic and serious. It's like seriously, how many people have you met who like, you know, have you like there, you know, that these people get judgment too, but like there's a lot of guys, and I'm not talking about trans people or like whatever. There's a lot of guys who only play female characters in video games. What's wrong with that? Does that make them girls? No. They're guys. They're not playing female characters because they identify as female. They're just guys who play female characters because they like tits. Okay, like what's wrong with that? I don't know why people would blame a guy for playing a female character. And you know, like so like that's like something completely unrelated, but it's like it makes you think, right? Like it activates a neuron, doesn't it? You can speak Indonesian? No, I don't. You're gayest? Serenay-chan? They want attention. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. They want attention because they're playing female characters in a video game. They want everyone to pay attention to them. That's exactly what it is. Hello guys, let's support crackpot gay streamers like this clown who is nonsense to us and is meaningless to our lives, but we keep wasting our time to them and it's real and it will hurt you all. Okay, so I'm gonna, that's kind of funny, but also like really weird and offensive, but also you're spamming. So that's like 3 strikes. Okay, like, are you lesbian? I'm like pansexual. I am the storm that is unbroken. I am transgender. I am actually pansexual. I am Son Goku.
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I am a surgeon.
I am the Senate.
I am the Senate.
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I am a surgeon.
I am the Senate.
Oh my god.
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I'm Rick Harrison, and
My name is Amani. Oh. Amani?
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I am Steve.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy. What am I even responding to? Am I responding to the YouTube video that I was watching? Guys, how many of you are gay? Who cares? No one asked. You're a hero, Brian? What is that? What the hell is even that? What are you even watching? I have no idea. You are a pooper, Dr. Han? I'm a pooper, Dr. Han! Dude, no, that episode is actually extremely, like, powerful. That's what it's like being autistic. Like, people are, like, just, like, putting you in a box, and there's something deeply, like, powerful and meaningful, and you just get so fed up, and you're fighting all the demons throughout your entire life of all the people who held you back, and it's just like somebody is not letting you pass go, like in a game of Monopoly, right? Changing gender is 100% normal. Come on, but change identity to a cat or a door? Yeah, because those things... I mean, what about Hodor? Are you guys hating on Hodor? You like pans? That's not what pansexual means. You already know that. Stop playing dumb. You guys know what pansexual means. Stop pretending that you don't. She's not meaningless to me. You want my wife to sound like you? This shirt has been through 3 world wars. I just got this shirt on Christmas. You work out and lift? Kinda. How am I breaking down on this lying on the ground? My cat fault. I'm sorry, Roblox. Jesus loves you all. True. That is like literally Jesus's thing. Weed. True. Pants given by Cleopatra. True. I mean, my sweatpants? I got these in the hospital. Like, I actually got them in, like, the mental hospital. Skincare routine. Basically, just keep your skin clean and eat lots of green vegetables. You like my eyeglasses? Your face is flawless? I don't know about that. Flawless victory! Now that's flawless. Why do you love pans? You guys are playing dumb. You know that's not what pansexual means. Spam sandwiches. True. What are you even watching? Oh, Steve? Can you please give us your name? What the fuck? Guys, you need to be banned if you're gonna be weird. People should work on not making their whole premises... see, that's not... Upgrade. You bring up an interesting topic. And it's like, I don't want to, like, assume that people bring up these topics out of, like, maliciousness or hate or anything like that. What I don't understand is why is there a huge disconnect between what people think is going on and what is actually going on? Do you understand that if gay and trans and all these people didn't have any issues, then pride would not need to be a thing? The reason people are so loud, they're not making it their personalities. They're trying to stand strong against a world that is trying to tear them down. Do you understand that that's not like a personality? Like, I mean, I'm sure people do make it their entire personality, but they're just trying to survive, bro. They're just trying to survive. And I don't know what this has to do with me, because I have like lots of aura, according to Serenay-chan. Okay, so I have lots of aura. So, I mean, I have much more personality than just being trans. That's just a medical history. You're not gay, but your boyfriend is? Hell yeah. Are you single? Yes. Is gay and lesbian the same? Then yes. What do you think of Trump? I think that's a dumb question. If you had to replace hi with a dramatic catchphrase, what's your new greeting? It's people! Soylent Green is people! Are you missing toes? What the fuck, bro? I have to close YouTube. This is crazy. Okay, bye. Christmas. Oh, yeah. I'm really behind on the chat. The stains in the shirt speaks for itself. Smash. Rebecca Smash. Well, we will get back to World of Warcraft playing Warrior eventually. You love my knuckles? You know that thing when people do that? The hospital. You're Homelander? Don't get me started on the whole autistic thing. You don't look autistic. I mean, true. Yeah, people don't understand. It's a brain thing. It's not... There's people who are very, like, I guess, visibly autistic because they're, like, nonverbal or they have different kind of issues on top of it. See, it's like a... Autism on its own is, like, not really, like, very visible. But what it is when there's other issues stacked on top of it, and those issues are somewhat related. Like, it's kind of like a... It's like a synergy thing, and it's like a compounding over time thing. So if you're a child, which is when autism develops, you're pretty much fine. But then your environment shapes who you are, just like it does with everybody. And so, because your environment shapes who you are, and you're autistic, your brain interprets things differently, and you develop like comorbidities, right? Like, so you develop like other issues, like childhood trauma. And so like those are on top of being autistic. So that's why a lot of autistic people who are visibly autistic, whatever that means, you're not really seeing them, like you're seeing like the slurry of like multiple mental health issues coalesce. So like people who aren't visibly autistic, they've usually had a lot more support, or they don't have a particular part of the spectrum that gives them like intellectual disorders. Like they're verbal. They don't have any other like kind of like telltale issues. Right? So they're able to kind of just like integrate into society, right? And so they don't look autistic. My classes came from Rosa Parks. What does that even mean? You're pretty. Thank you, Tony. I can save her. She'll never go back to a hospital. That's ridiculous. This whole idea that going to a hospital makes you like a bad person. You go to a hospital to get better. Doesn't that make you like healthier? If I didn't go to the hospital, you guys should be worried. Like, then I'd just be walking around talking about the Roman Empire, shouting at the bus station, in the bathroom for like 3 hours. Like, this happened in real life. There was somebody who was doing that. I was taking the bus yesterday. I was waiting for the bus, and there was some lady shouting about like how the Roman Empire is taking over. And she was like just shouting, and I think she was on drugs. I could be wrong. I think she was on drugs. I'm a girl. Kanaya. You're number one in chat. Hell yeah, Serenade. Full of contradictions. Haram. They're going to force their sexual identity. Yeah, because that's possible, apparently. No one's trying to tear you guys down. I see this you guys are ridiculous. Yeah, no one's trying to tear you down as like political legislation is like constantly bombarding people for being transgender, trying to erase our identities, trying to take away our hard-won victories, trying to like remove us from public life, allowing hospitals to not treat you, not just for like gender confirming surgeries, just allowing hospitals to deny treating you just because you're trans. But it's not discrimination because we didn't actually say the word trans. We just said a list of things that happen to perfectly align with trans people. Do you guys understand? Don't gaslight me. Okay, trans people and like gay people in general have been oppressed. Okay, this is an objective reality. Women have been oppressed. This is an objective reality. Now people getting mad at Asmongold for telling people what reality is. Now there's plenty of reasons to get mad at Asmongold, but telling people what reality is not one of those. You should be mad at the world, not mad at like somebody for, don't shoot the messenger, right? There's plenty of reasons to be mad with Asmongold. Focus on those. Okay? But like you shouldn't like hate somebody. He's a human being. Leave him alone. Like he's struggling with whatever he's struggling with. He's a human being. He has mental illness. Okay? He deserves love just like anyone else. Okay, leave Asmongold alone, but like his ideas are dog shit sometimes. Okay? So like don't leave those alone. There's a difference between the idea and the person, okay? He's a human being. He's deserving of love, like Jesus taught, right? This isn't survival. It's for... Yeah, I see. Yeah, these people just need to be blocked from my chat. Trump saving the world. Yeah, those people are going to be blocked in my chat. You stole your coffee cup? My mom gave it to me. What the hell are you talking about? Tucky tea? I don't have a tuck. I got a JJ. What the fuck? I don't got a tuck no more. Fake glasses. They're real glasses. Trump being played by... Okay, guys, bring the politics out of here. Dance if you hate me. I don't hate you. Yeah, don't bring up, like, politics and, like, like Epstein stuff. Like, please. Trump living rent-free in your head. Yeah, people who are, like, obsessed with Trump, it's like, dude, turn off the TV. What songs are you listening to? It's OC Remix. It's rainwave.cc/OC Remix. Yeah, usually it's boys who get diagnosed because of behavior. It's like boys, it's like, there's like, this is what I'm talking about. Autism is not just one thing. It's because people, usually boys, are diagnosed because boys are socialized to be more like I guess boisterous. Boys are socialized to be more like out and about and like all that kind of stuff. And so like stuff like autism will become noticeable a lot quicker, whereas girls are more like encouraged to kind of like be tucked away in the corner and play with dolls, right? So like usually like girls don't get diagnosed unless it's very obvious. I wasn't even diagnosed, which is kind of interesting because I was assigned male at birth, and also I did identify as a boy, and technically I didn't identify as any gender until people started bullying me. And then it wasn't really about gender, it was just that people were bullying me and I was trying to correct them instead of ignoring them. Furry club? Hell yeah. Kale is bad? Kale is hella good. What are you talking about? Kale is like one of the best vegetables for you. What's your gender? Female. People are coping really hard in the chat. I'm just gonna block the people who are coping. Hospitals should deny treatment. Yeah, they should just deny treatment to everyone. You worked as a stonemason in 2008 as an old church in Wales. Tremendous stomach pain. You went outside and laid an egg. I can't explain what happened. Yeah, no one is trying to tear you down. People saying a ton of transphobic and awful stuff. Yeah, like literally everybody, like a large amount of people in my chat are literally tearing me down, and then somebody's gaslighting me saying I'm not being torn down. Don't get rage baited. Did I just get rage baited? Does this look like rage to you? Does this look like rage to you? Do you guys need to go to the hospital? I've been around. Okay, I can give you some tips. Because you're a dog. No, I'm not. Freedom of speech at the end of the day, as well as common sense. Yeah, I mean, it's just freedom of speech. I know people don't like to hear this, and I'm gonna get memed hard about this, but freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. Okay, you go into a church and you start telling everybody that God is fake. You guys are idiots for believing in God. Jesus didn't die for your sin. Like you guys go into a church and start shouting that atheism is the only thing that's true, and you're gonna get confused when people tell you to leave. Like you're going into a house of worship of Christianity, and you're going in there saying, God isn't real. like come on, bro. What's your opinion on nuclear fission? Apparently it's a lot cleaner. She's a girly girl? I don't know about girly girl, but I mean, I am a girl. We live in a feminized society, whatever the hell that means. You guys are crazy. It's not because of behavior. I mean, I'm glad somebody in the chat likes Jews. That's good. I don't know about Israel, though. Many people, hi. Is there anything about Trump that you like? I think that we can learn from him. He is like a masterclass in how to keep going after you get canceled. Like, like he's a masterclass in being able to get what you want despite being an absolute dog shit human being. Okay, so if he can go that far, literally talked his way into the White House, that's inspiring for people like me, okay? People like me who have never had any power in my entire life. If somebody like Donald Trump can talk his way to the highest political office in the United States, I don't even know, like, I mean, it's the executive. I mean, wouldn't be a Supreme Court justice be the highest office because it's for a lifetime? There has to be. Like, I don't think anyone's been impeached from the Supreme Court, right? Like, once you get in the Supreme Court, you're set for life. Like, so like I don't know if that's like it depends on what you mean by highest. As far as like, they do have a lot of control over like what federal law is. So I don't know. Either way, it's the highest political office in the United States, and he's like an actual like criminal. Okay, like so like whatever, like convicted felon. Okay, so it is inspiring. We can learn that from him. Just because somebody's bad doesn't mean you can't learn from them. And you would be doing yourself a disservice by ignoring things that you can learn from. I think it's intelligent to look at people that you don't like or that you do like and look at them objectively and say, what can I learn from this? It's not rage. I'm slightly irritated. I'm not irritated. I'm just going to ban them. I mean, I am irritated, but see them go to a mosque. Yeah, go to a mosque and say, Allah isn't real. Like, are you guys serious? Like, what the hell? Freedom of speech is not like, you still have to be a normal person. Just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean you can't stop. You have to like, it doesn't change anything. I mean, here's the thing is all these people say you can't change your gender. And then they talk about freedom of speech being this like immutable thing that protects them from reality. Like, dude, if you fart in an elevator, people are going to smell it and they're probably not going to want to get in an elevator with you ever again. Okay. I could offend so many people right now. What the fuck, bro? Common sense. Hi, I'm trying to get caught up with the chat. Trump could do that because the people is connected to. Yeah, well, and here's the thing, is like, it's still a masterclass. Like, if you have connections and power, that's one thing, but you have to understand there's a lot of people who have stuff that is similar to that have been like, crashed and burned. Okay, like you have to understand that when you look at people, you want to look at like the things that set them apart. From like, because there's a lot of people who have powerful connections. Not all of those people become powerful, right? Marco Polo. The most human. You guys are sheep. You guys don't see the big picture. I don't even want to get into politics. So like literally, I'm just gonna time people out. We're not talking about Iran right now. We're not talking about Israel. Go talk about that somewhere else. I am not a political expert. All I'm gonna say about this is if you guys only see one single action, but you don't see like the big giant picture surrounding it, you guys are lost. I have no idea. Okay, you guys are just being edgy, okay? Like, you guys are being edgy as fuck. I mean, he has done a lot in the first year. It's been the longest fucking year in United States history, probably, in my memory. Yeah, short animations is kind of scary, bro. It's kind of scary, bro. Like, it's like if I go into some states, I could literally be like thrown in jail just for existing. Do you guys understand? I am legally female. I have gone through surgeries. Like, we're gonna be doing drawing. I'm still having my coffee. And you guys are voting. Are you guys voting in the chat? What kind of favorite coffee? 33% for milk with a question mark. Only 19% like it black. 21% like hippie stuff. Well, you guys like your like chai lattes and stuff, right? Dual streaming. Yeah, we're live on OnlyFans right now. No, I'm just kidding. Do you know Isla Vanal? What the hell is that? What the hell is even that? You had coffee today? You look healthy and happy. What happened? What are you talking about? That's how I look like every day. Oh, I see. Yeah, that feeling when you're camping and you smell the coffee, like you're cooking it on like a gas stove or a propane stove while you're camping, and you smell that black coffee, and then the coffee reminds you of like the camping itself. Like you're associating with like emotions and memory associated with the outdoors and like the rustic feeling of camping. Like, do you know Gabe Owners? We have that clip already. That's already a YouTube short. It actually got me a ton of views. You drink adult chocolate milk? What does that even mean? How is chocolate milk adult? Does it have a picture of a naked lady on it? Well, there is a current list of do not travel states for trans people. There are certain states where if I use the women's restroom, I can go to jail. Do you understand? Childhood trauma. Yeah, I know that movie. Chocolate caramel protein from D&D. Pancake breakfast latte at 7 Brew or butterbeer at the library. I don't know what that combination of words is supposed to mean, bro. Carry a child. I can't carry a child, bro. What the fuck? You just put a dab of vanilla creamer in my coffee? Make it cooler? What is this, Dragon Ball Z? It's like chocolate milk, but you have to do taxes to drink it? True. Vibes ruined. Vibes ruined. Guys, we haven't even finished our coffee yet, and we've already had like a bajillion chat messages. What the fuck? You guys are awesome. That's not what that person meant, Sland. Not once in my entire 31 years of life, never done taxes. No, somebody always did it for me. And I'm not talking because I'm rich. I'm talking about because I never earned enough money to actually have to do taxes. Because I am permanently disabled. Coffee needs to be awesome. You're an impatient guy. I almost thought you said that you're an impatient gay. I'm an impatient guy. I need to drink my scalding coffee ASAP. They also have passport rules. Yeah, so I need to kind of get stuck. I'm really terrified about the state of the world, but there's honestly nothing I can do but just kind of try to live the best life I can. I'm glad you're chatty, Short Animations. Government automatically takes it out of wages. Yeah, because they actually don't have like COBOL code from like 1960 running their entire system with spaghetti code that has not been updated since the 70s. No, they were pretty specific after they went there. They said you can't carry a child because you're not a woman. That's what they said. Belly dance? You don't do taxes because I'm paid under the table. Are you gonna go to jail now? Because you said that in my chat? What this stream about? We're just chatting. And we're going to be doing some drawing because we're doing art. I'm not very good, but that's how you get good. We're going to do art on a thing. You don't need to worry about my knee, Raven. I work out. Can't you believe you don't have a belly ring? No, I don't like getting piercings. I don't like altering my body. Really? You draw like M3? Saul Germain. I'm too young to go to jail. I'm too soft. I'm too pretty. No, I'm absolutely terrified of what's going on with the politics in this country, which is why I really don't like it when people bring it to my chat. This is supposed to be an escape. We're here on the internet trying to just enjoy our lives, and you know, you go on the internet to escape reality. You don't always not all of us are glued to the constant political discussions. What do you mean by quote unquote women? I mean, yeah, there's tons of women. I think it's like 1 in 5 women can't get pregnant. Why did you become a Transformer? Because Optimus Prime is a fucking badass? Don't you want to be able to turn into a truck? Reality is overrated? I don't know about that. Reality can be pretty cool too. Your brother draws people's faces before he quit. I'm sorry that he quit. Ayo! But Notorious Wasifali, how you doing? Do you guys get the joke when I said I don't want to get piercings because I don't like altering my body? Literally has a vagina that used to be a dick. You guys understand how comfortable I am with my femininity, that it doesn't bother me, I mean, as much. It depends. I do get existential reality kind of problems, just like everybody else, but I have a vagina, bro. You're not going to convince me I'm a man. like do you think that that's gonna bother me? Like, in the end, like, it might like kind of activate like a little neuron, but like, do you think I'm gonna feel insecure about my gender? Like, I literally have been on hormones for 6 years. I've had my face reconstructed, and I have a vagina, bro. Do you really think I'm gonna get upset by some rando in my chat calling me a man? Just think about it. Use logic. Do you really think that I am going to believe you? Like, red hair and glasses. It's starting to fade. I colored my hair red. It's starting to fade back to my natural color. Her name is Rebecca. She is adorable. True, Muhammad Khalid. Pergina. That robot pussy. You should have confident? True. Stop! 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 What do you think, Adnan? Don't bring politics in here. It's such a dumb question. Do I support Trump? Do I support the man that is going balls to the wall, trying to erode transgender rights in the United States on a daily basis? as a trans woman? Do you not have like logical circuits in your brain? Like, do you not have like a single shred of intelligent neurons in your brain? Are you a stupid person? I was born a good person. People do change. Exactly. Some people are born... You're not born an asshole. Well, unless you're literally a combination of muscles that are sphincter muscles, and you literally are an asshole. But I don't think that really happens that often. Good emo fringe. You got made fun of and got in trouble? See, why are you gonna let people decide who you are? Like, if you like doing something, it's like... See, this is what I'm talking about. People, like, get bullied, and they get in trouble for things that they just enjoy, and then they wonder why people, quote-unquote, make it their entire personality. Sometimes, I actually think that people go emo or goth just to piss people off. Because they told them that it was stupid. Because they told them to stop. And then they're like, well, fuck you. I'm going to do it more now. I'm going to be even more gay. Like the $1 Million Man trans edition, we built him stronger, better, faster, and without a dill. What the hell, bro? God bless America. What a beautiful day. What were you born as? A giraffe! She was born as a woman, bruv. Well, I mean, I became a woman. Just like anybody becomes a man or becomes a woman. You know, like, you get to a certain age. And you start growing hair where there was no hair before. And you start developing certain urges. And those urges start leading you to do certain things with your hands. Or your feet. Or couch cushions. Or a bag of jelly. And possibly watermelons that have been put in the microwave. But it's normal. It's part of becoming a man. Do you guys get it? What really is a man? What really is a woman? We just kind of decide at a certain age, you go through your first puberty, that's your natal puberty, that is literally just a biological function that has nothing to do with our identity and nothing to do with reality around us. It is literally just a bunch of random cells in a petri dish that makes us inside of a womb, and then we get born, and then we create the world around us. What really is a man? What really is a woman? Nobody actually knows, because it's basically just pretend bullshit that in certain cultures, you became a man or a woman when you were 13. In certain cultures, you became a man or a man when you killed an animal in a hunt. That was a ritual hunt. It was a ceremony of adulthood. Like, in some cultures, you don't become an adult until you do a ritual. You have to, like, drink a special tea that makes your brain all fuzzy. And then you have to go on a vision quest. And then you become a man or you become a woman. Like, what does this even mean? Like, it's just like, when are you actually a man or a woman? Western culture has, I know people like to nitpick the number, but I'm going to settle on 18. Okay? Society says that when you are 18, you're allowed to you are making adult decisions. Okay, so like, but is an adult being a man or a woman? Because being an adult is just a legal status, right? Are you really a man at 18? Are you really a woman at 18? Because there's people that people usually call people in their 18 to 20s boys or girls. Even though, like, a woman is like a certain age is like a woman, a certain age is a man, whatever that age is. Like, what is a boy? What is a girl? They're just like things that align with like some, biological function vaguely. But also, a lot of people who are actually girls get called boys. And a lot of people who are actually boys, because he has long hair or something like that, get called girls. So which one is it? I think it's pretty arbitrary. What are you, alien? Aliens aren't real. No, it's like not even really a personal choice. Like, it's more like you are like what seems like the most obvious, right? To like, and you know, there's multiple levels to it, because the reason why I took hormones and got surgeries is so that it would be a little bit less confusing to other people, besides my own personal reasons. But when we look at purely like social external reasons, the effect of going through everything that I went through, except for some weirdos on my live stream that show up into my channel to comment transphobic things, we're going to discard that, because in my reality, I am seen as a woman. I go into public and people see a woman. They call me ma'am or miss. Okay, they see me. They look at my body. They look at my clothes. They look at my hair. They look at my face. They look at how I hold myself and how I conduct my behavior. I have female energy. That's all that matters in a social context. Like, people do not actually look at your biology under a microscope when you're just like out at a grocery store. Okay, do you like look at everybody's genitals when you go to the grocery store? And how are you supposed to verify whether or not they have a dick? That is not what is causing you to gender somebody in your mind. You're looking at them and you're making a guess, and it probably aligns with what they identify as, most likely. And if it doesn't, well, like, it depends on what you do with that information. Most of the time, we just discard information and we move on with our lives. Normal, healthy people. They don't want to piss you off. That's not the case. You guys don't get it. We each do calisthenics for a year and you tell me about your knees? You guys, there is so many people who don't understand how to exercise. They overdo it. They injure themselves because they don't know how to stop. Okay? There is such a thing as doing too much of a good thing. Doing too much exercise will ruin your knees. But here's the thing. There's actually recent research coming in that people used to say that running destroyed your knees, but it's actually the opposite. If you're running and you're not running to the point of complete destruction, like you're not running like ultra marathons and shit. If you run, your muscles in your knees strengthen to protect your knees. So the more you run, the more your body protects itself. And as long as you're not doing it to the point of pain, which is what most people do, most people get injured because they keep going after they start feeling pain. If you stop as soon as you feel pain, you won't get injuries. Do you understand? Like, do you actually understand this? So many people are clueless about this. They're like, no pain, no gain. Like, no. If you have pain, that is your body telling you to stop. But it doesn't mean that you're doing a bad thing. It means that you reached your limit. And your limit can move, right? Over time, you get stronger. And you can go longer and more intense. It's progressive. Like, you get stronger and stronger every time you go to the gym. Damage caused by exercise? Be a fun thing to do. I mean, I do like various exercises. I got my own regimen. Thank you very much. If you don't believe the biology behind gender, then why are you taking hormones? Shut the fuck up, bro. You guys are not interested in having a conversation. This is what's happening. And this is why it's so hard for people who aren't transphobic. Like, there are so many people who aren't transphobic. but they don't understand the implications of what people say. When somebody comes into my chat, they've never said a message before, and they come in here and they say, "Are you a man or a woman?" They're not actually asking a question. They know I'm a woman. They know I'm transgender. They're asking because they're trying to get like a response, and then they could say, "Well, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions." No, you're not. You're not just asking questions, because normal people don't ask those questions. Normal people just go about their life, watch a live stream, and then when they're done, they close it. Like, they chat because they're interested about things. People who come into chat asking about transgender stuff, sometimes they are genuinely trying to have a conversation. So I don't always immediately shut down people. But there's a certain type of behavior that when they're asking things or they're saying quote unquote facts, they're just trying to play devil's advocate. They're trying to get, they're trying to basically just like do a gotcha. Like, "Oh, but if it wasn't for biology, then why did you take hormones?" Of course it's about biology. Nobody's saying it's not. You guys are missing the point. Like, the reason people are mad is not because we're trying to avoid reality. I know I'm transgender. I know I am not assigned female at birth. Stop reminding me of that. It's not serving a purpose. It's only serving a purpose of trying to get a rise out of me. It's only serving the purpose of trying to point out that you don't agree with my existence. Like, that's what it tells me. When somebody comes in here and they say, "But if it wasn't for biology, why did you take hormones?" Of course it's about biology. I wouldn't have needed to take hormones if I didn't feel a misalignment. The hormones fixed it. The surgeries fixed it. What more do you want? Like, I don't know. It's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. There was something that was causing me distress. I did something about it, and now the distress is gone, outside of a bunch of losers on social media. That's the only thing that causes me trouble. Like, and you know, besides like the legal realities, those are serious. Please repeat the things because you were missing the comments. Yeah, I've been on social media for 25 years, by the way. No, if it's a candle, it's not a cake, it's a birthday cake. You're introvert, I show speed form anime? What? What does that even mean, Ranok? Gamer. Don't repeat what you don't like to hear, because they keep coming back, and if you don't address it, I mean, it's not going to stop no matter what I do. This is the reality. I know a lot of people, non-human entity, I know it might be hard to understand, but I have been on social media for 25 years. People always like to spit out the like, "Oh, but if you don't feed the trolls, don't feed the trolls, don't..." It doesn't work. Okay, like, it doesn't stop people from doing it. And if I can, like, tolerate a certain level of conversation, I will do so, because it might actually benefit society. You should set it to subscribers only. Well, I'm trying to grow my channel. And whether they believe it or not, them commenting on my channel gives me actually more analytics. Like, it gives me more exposure to people who are actually genuinely wanting to be here. So, as much as it sucks, I will ban people. I'm not going to let people harass me. But when people are commenting on my channel, it helps my channel grow. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. The algorithm doesn't care. So, I mean, they can, if they want to help me grow, it sucks that they're harassing me, but eat the trolls. Yeah, see, I'm eating them. I'm not feeding them, I'm eating them. Do you understand? I'm not Jewish. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that. Belly dance oriental Jean-Louis. I mean, if I wanted to avoid it, I would, Saul Germain. I'm talking about it because right now I am in a state of mind where I'm okay talking about it. But we're going to move on eventually, and we're going to do some drawing. They don't know the difference between sex and gender. Yeah, they're stuck. They're sheep. That's all there is to it. They're low IQ. They're losers. But I love them, and I hope that they like come to reality at some point. I love them because they're human beings and they are just, lost sheep. Okay? They could easily not be like that. Like, they're just people who had a certain set of beliefs ingrained into them, brainwashed by people around them while they were growing up. It's not their fault. Now, I'm not going to let them hurt me, but at the same time, I do have like a certain amount of like, these are human beings and they could potentially not be like this. Yeah, well, I'm not trying to explain it for them. I'm trying to base, and I don't like how every time I look at my VODs and I try to like I search it for clips using my clipper. I have like a clip GPT that goes through my VODs and clips, and when 90% of my clips are me talking about transgender stuff, it bothers me because I don't want to post those. I want to make more clips that are funny. I want to make more clips that are interesting. Nobody cares about transgender stuff. And I know people I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that's not the kind of content I want to be making. We are humans and we love to interact with people. Yeah, I mean, that's why I read my chat. And it's like, hey, they're in my chat for a reason. Maybe this is the moment where like something clicks in their head that they're being assholes. They're sheeple. Yeah, cheese master. Here's the thing, is like, I might be the one who potentially helps them. I'm not holding my breath on it, but if I have the energy to do it, I'm going to do it. But I just like, I'm trying to make content, and this is not content. This is just me like explaining something that has already been well documented, well researched, with like hundreds of like different like independent researchers agreeing that transgender people are perfectly healthy individuals who have a very clear-cut road to recovery. There's a set of safe gender-confirming practices that have been researched and documented, and these people don't care about that. So unfortunately, this isn't about science. This isn't about like them trying to like, oh, I'm just asking questions. Like, no, they are just behind. They are behind. They're living in the dark ages. And unfortunately, I don't know if there's anything I can do to help them. Your friend Mike loves your live. Can you shout out Mike Uchi? I see what you did there, Bran. You need milk? True. Yeah, I mean, just because the majority of people will probably go to their graves feeling joy over their bigotry, there might be like one person today that came to my chat and then like kind of realized that they're wasting their life. And that like there's no reason that they're hating trans. Like there's somebody in my chat today. They're not commenting. They're not saying anything. They're watching, and they heard it, and they said, and they closed their phone and said, why the fuck am I wasting my time going to transgender people and hating on them? Instead of commenting today, that person closed their phone app. That person put down their phone. There's at least one person. Do you understand? That's a real thing. That's a real statistic.
It's a very high possibility that there is at the very least one person who today was the day they were on my stream. They were about to type out a really cringe, hateful comment. But then they realized as I was talking, what the fuck am I doing with my life? They put their phone down and they went to the gym. Okay, okay, do you understand? I saved someone's life. Well, if I didn't hyperfixate about helping them, who will? Right? Somebody has to care for them too. And we're both in the same boat. If you really think about it, they're a minority and I'm a minority. If you look at the statistics, the vast majority of people don't particularly care about trans people. They might have like specific views about like, oh, but what about children? Think about the children. And they're wrong because like there has been so much research that says transgender healthcare is extremely helpful and like nowhere near what they fear. But those people are just wrong. They have a belief and those beliefs are real in their head and they're based on real fear. And the thing is they are a minority. The vast majority of people statistically don't particularly care about trans people. I don't know if about supporting, but they're at least neutral. And the number of people who absolutely despise and hate trans people and want us erased from existence is a minority. And I'm a minority. Technically, we're in the same boat. Like, they exist because I exist. And I exist as somebody who is oppressed because they exist. Maybe we can get each other out of this. And maybe some of them are actually trans themselves. Do you understand? Like, they are us. Sometimes. It's an old subject. Yeah, it's just today's modern world is making it into this like, oh, it's this new experimental thing. It's not. People have been doing transgender medicine since well before we even synthesized estrogen for the first time in the 1930s. Okay, the first transgender surgery was done in 1933. Okay, like I think it was in Sweden or something. Shakira loca, living la vida loca. Do you prefer chimichangas or regular burritos? I mean, I remember like chimichangas were like a huge part of like, that was gaming fuel. Like that was like, you're playing Final Fantasy X and in the freezer, you open up the freezer and in there is a box of taquitos. And next to it is a bag of chimichangas. And you put that chimichanga on a plate and you put 10 taquitos on the plate next to it and you toss it in the microwave and you burn the shit out of it. And you get back to leveling up in Final Fantasy X while you're waiting for that microwave to count down. And then when you hear that beep, you wait for your next moment and then you run to the microwave, take out the hot burning plate. You have like a towel on your hand to like protect it from burning. And then you run back and you get back to grinding on Final Fantasy X. Chimichangas were my childhood, bro. Taquitos! Why every one of you have Rebecca? Different shades of gray. The first trans surgery was in Germany. Oh, it was in Germany. Okay, see, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter about the specifics. Do you understand? It was in 1933. Like, it was in the 30s. Okay, like this is not new. Transgender surgeries are not new. And people were probably doing stuff thousands of years ago. Why do you think there had to have been transgender people who got like who became eunuchs, right? People have been having like genital related surgeries since like the dawn of time. There had to have been a certain percentage of people, they may not have known what it was, but there may have been motivation for people wanting to get those procedures done and not forced on them, right? A lot of people were just had those procedures forced on them because of slavery. We're talking about history. Tomorrow is the future. Today is the present. Present. What a gift. Happy birthday. Sideways V's with a 3. Why can't I do that? Okay, there we go. Do you know or do you believe? What? Who is deleting my message? What? Yesterday was the past. Tomorrow is the future. Today is the present. What a gift. Happy birthday. Sideways V with a 3. Thug nasty, bro. We haven't even finished my coffee yet. Cat, finish my coffee for me. Kung Fu Panda? Chat, I need to fill up my water bottles. And then we need to get to drawing. You know why they're jealous of me? I want all my haters to seriously, like, not all jokes aside, you don't have to share it in chat. You don't have to share it with anybody. I want you to put down your phone and I want you to seriously consider, would your life be happier if you lived as the gender that you weren't assigned at birth? And I want you to think about that for 24 hours. Not as a joke, not as a meme, not hating it and avoiding it just because you think it's wrong. I want you to genuinely consider it for 24 hours and come back to me. You don't have to tell me what the answer is. You don't have to share it with anybody. I just want you to seriously consider this for 24 hours. Like, actually put yourself in the shoes of, wait, why don't I just ask myself, not as a joke, not as a meme, not with like denial. Actually ask yourself, would I be happier if I was the gender that I wasn't assigned at birth? Like, genuinely consider it. Genuinely, like, think about the pros and cons. Because most likely, statistically, you're going to say that you wouldn't. Because you're probably cisgender, like 99% of the time, right? This is not something that somebody can brainwash you into thinking. You are going to know what the answer is. I want you to genuinely try this. Because, like, you have to know the answer. Like, there's no way anybody can tell you what the answer is. You know what the answer is. And, but also, maybe you would be happier. And maybe you're just like me. Somebody who used to have hate in their heart. Somebody who used to go around and spout the same rhetoric that everybody around you is saying is normal. Oh, you know, it's not, there's no such thing as chicks with dicks. It's just men with tits. All that stuff that people are implanting into your brain. You're just spouting bullshit. You're just yapping, bro. You're just yapping. Oops. Do you know you're drinking coffee or do you believe? Exactly. I know. I already finished my coffee. Oh, I guess there's some left. Yeah, I know I'm drinking coffee. I don't just believe I'm drinking coffee. I did drink coffee. Exactly. Like, I wish people would actually, like, think for themselves. Rather than just spouting the copy-paste bullshit that everybody around them told them is the truth. Do you think that anybody would possibly think that they would be happier being a gender different than they were assigned at birth unless it was actually true? Like, do you actually believe that? Or do you just like spouting stuff that you just think is true? Like, genuinely spend 24 hours thinking about whether or not you would be happier. Do it. And like, you know, like, switch off that little thing in your brain that just makes you want to agree with everybody else. You're basically just saying what everybody wants you to believe. You're not actually thinking for yourself. You think you're original? You think that you're just being different? You're not. You are no different than the other thousands of people I've had to ban from my chat. You are not unique. You are not special. You are a sheep. Redheaded demons? Skibbity toilet rizzler. Hell yeah. I need to get some water. Okay, I'll be right back. Behave yourself in chat. Behave yourselves. Okay, because I need to get water. I'll be right back. No out today? No, we're drawing. I'll leave my chair to take control of the stream for now, okay? Like, my chair is taking over for a little bit. I'll be right back. Yeah, what's up, Doc? You guys miss me? Hite 9, Hite 9, Koneko. Hello, Wabbit. I need to get my coffee now so the cops don't question me for sitting down. Chat, all of like that discussion aside, I want everyone to know that I'm gonna be just fine. I have a pretty solid understanding of myself, and I'm pretty comfortable with my body now, and I'm pretty comfortable with myself. And the people who get mad in chat, those people are way more confused than you can possibly imagine. So I understand, like, you know, I have a perspective that maybe not a lot of people might not have, but I have a level of perspective that is hard fought. It was like I earned it. It was a perspective that not a lot of people have on this planet. Doesn't make me like better or whatever, but I have a level of perspective about life that most people can't even. Most people are like not anywhere near on the same page as I am, so I kind of have to keep that in mind. You're a hypo. Where's my head? Are you saying you want to give me head? Okay, let's actually, I've been using pencil a lot lately. Let's actually go back to doing some ballpoint. We're gonna be doing some ballpoint. Can we go back to doing mental asylum treatment? I have no idea what you're talking about. Chocolate, milk, and honey? That sounds like some kind of hippie that's a hippie thing. What's with the carrot? Sonic the Hedgehog as the DJ. Kyle Govender. I like my coffee strong enough to give me a heart attack. True. So not many people know this, but you know there's a reason why green tea, or just tea in general, hits differently than coffee or other sources of caffeine? Because it has a chemical called L-theanine. Now, it's not the only reason why green tea is healthy. There has a thing called catechins, which are a certain type of, I guess, like tannin or antioxidants, whatever you want to call it. That have actually been linked, you know, to like basically prevent cancer. The research is still limited, but I mean, it seems to be a pretty strong correlation. That being said, if we're discounting, you know, potential cancer prevention, we're just looking at L-theanine. You can actually take L-theanine as a supplement and mix it in with your coffee, and you can have basically it makes your caffeine absorb very differently. It basically prevents like the abrupt kind of anxiety inducing effects of caffeine, and you just get like this smooth focus. That's why tea hits different than coffee. It's actually one of the main reasons why I think people prefer tea over coffee, or prefer coffee over tea. Some people want that anxiety, right? I mean, I don't know why people would want caffeine anxiety, but you know, I guess some people, you know, that's what wakes them up. I don't know. But I have a mixture of I have like a morning like protein drink with like whey isolate and creatine monohydrate and L-theanine, L-carnitine, taurine, and spirulina and electrolytes, and also nettle leaves for like iron. And I try to mix Greek yogurt for probiotics. And basically what that does is and I have guarana or guarana. It's a Brazilian seed of a berry native to Brazil in the jungle. That has the highest natural source of caffeine on the planet. Now, I don't take a full dose of it, a full scoop of Nutricost, and all of these are Nutricost except for Anthony's nettle leaves, which Anthony's is a good company. I usually have also Anthony's marine collagen powder, but I'm all out right now. But Anthony's is a good product. I also have a Brazil nut, which is like an organic raw Brazil nut, which is 100% of your daily selenium in natural form, so you don't have the dangers of taking it in supplement form. So it has like extra fiber and fat and stuff like that. And I take a B12, which is also Nutricost. All my supplements, I try to stay with Nutricost, not just because it's more affordable, but also it's like you want to stay consistent. Like if you're taking supplements, you should probably try to take all supplements from the same supplier. They're also third-party certified. Now they aren't like Olympic certified or like, professional athlete certified. So they might have like certain things that might, come up in like some kind of, it's potential. It's probably unlikely, but doping is a very serious issue in competitive sports. So if you're going to do competitive sports, you might want to make sure you have a verified, athletic approved supplement. But at the same time, it's for normal people, it's pretty good because it doesn't have any heavy metals. It's at least been investigated by third parties, which you can never fully trust anything, but you got to kind of take a leap at some point, right? So basically, I only take about a quarter to a half of a scoop of guarana, and then I have coffee to basically get my full daily caffeine, because I don't want to take too much caffeine, but I want that little jump. And the tannins, like antioxidant kind of stuff, does have health benefits. And I am diabetic. I looked into creatine. Creatine is good for diabetics, but it's also good for me because I was worried that if I work out, I know it's kind of it's a weird myth that if you work out, it's going to like make you all buff. That's actually really hard to do, especially without testosterone. I have a very low testosterone. I'm actually lower than most women, because I have, as a post-op trans woman, I have a lower testosterone than most women, and so it's very hard to hypertrophy without having a large amount of testosterone. And that being said, you can still do it, but you have to do increasing load-bearing anaerobic exercise, like keep increasing the weight and working out to the point of failure, and then increasing it. And like you have to keep on increasing the weight to failure. And you have to have a caloric surplus. So you have to eat a lot more calories than you're burning. As long as you're eating more calories than you're burning, you will gain you will get hypertrophy. And so by doing that, like basically creatine helps like activate your muscles better by pulling water, which is why I have to drink a ton more water. It pulls water into your muscles, which increase ATP. ATP, I know this is like not like completely scientifically based when I say this, but I'm saying this because internally I associate ATP with activation. Because basically what happens, the function, from my limited understanding, is that when you take creatine, it increases your ATP by pulling water into your muscles. which gives it more ability to kind of have more explosive activation. That's a very limited understanding. You can probably do your own research about this. But also, as a diabetic, I have a lower baseline creatine level. It's good for diabetics. And ironically, by working out with creatine in my system, I'm probably going to end up feminizing my body more than masculinizing. But the fear inside most women's head when they start working out, and this isn't even just about trans women, I'm pretty sure a lot of women out there are worried that if they start lifting weights, they'll get all bulky. Because it makes sense psychologically, right? When you think lifting weights, you think big, giant Arnold, like Canute kind of muscles. And that's just not the reality. You have to literally try to get bulk. You have to be deliberately bulking. What are you drawing? I have no idea. You've been taking Fatty 15? I don't know what that is. You're just potato. You okay, potato? I am potato? You need caffeine so strong it convinces me I can be a rock climber. Well, if you start climbing rocks, you are a rock climber. Highest dose of caffeine in the world. You ought to be very careful with guarana. Now, the thing about guarana, and this is why I take a lower dose of guarana, and the fact that I'm considering it as a dose should tell you how serious you should take guarana. It is basically medicine. Like you should treat this like a medicine, not like it's not like coffee. Okay, it is very serious stuff. You could easily overdose on it. A full scoop of Nutricost is like 2 cups of coffee, and the scoop. Let me show you. Okay, this little teeny tiny thing right here is 100 servings. 1 gram of this is 2 cups of coffee. So 1 gram is 230 milligrams of caffeine. Or 220. Okay, you should consider guarana a supplement. This is very serious stuff. Do not fuck around with this shit. Okay, I am serious. This shit can kill you. Okay? But, I only take, like, here, you guys want to see what 1 gram looks like? Okay, this scoop right here is 1 gram. Like this scoop right here. That tiny amount of guarana is 2 cups of coffee. Okay? So I have a 1/4 of a scoop in my protein drink. I have a 1/4 scoop of this. So if a half a scoop is 1 cup of coffee, then a 1/4 scoop is like a half cup of coffee, right? But the thing is this has the highest tannin count out of any natural caffeine source. Yeah, guarana. It's guarana. It's from Brazil. So even though this is the same amount of caffeine as about 2 cups of coffee, it has the highest tannin count out of any natural caffeine source. And so it absorbs a lot slower. So even though it's 220 milligrams of caffeine, it absorbs slower. I like to think of it like it's kind of like fiber. Like, you know how fiber helps food absorb slower? So if you eat like oatmeal or something, you feel fuller longer. Tannins in plant material is kind of like that. Like it buffers between the caffeine absorption. So you get like kind of a slower, longer lasting burn, which is kind of intense because you have caffeine like just slow burning. But then you drink the coffee absorbs a lot faster. And so coffee gets you jump started. Guarana keeps you going. But you want to really balance it. I'll have 1 cup of coffee and a quarter serving of guarana. So because I'm dividing this by 4, this is actually 400 servings, right? So actually a quarter scoop of this is actually 400 servings. So this is like, this thing was only like, I think $15 or $20. So 400 days. This is over a year's worth of guarana if you only take a quarter scoop at a time. This is 400 days worth. Okay, just think about that. This is like high optimization caffeine right here. And I put a scoop of L-theanine in there to like kind of smooth out. And the taurine as well. The taurine also does that. The L-theanine and the taurine kind of smooth out the caffeine effects. It makes it less anxiety inducing. Kind of gives you more of a calm focus. So that's what I drink every day. The shadow of protection applied to the foam. A bellyache in a can. You got to get used to it. Yeah, I'm free flow drawing. I'm kind of just like in a current state of my drawing of just like trying to. It's a thing called BA. It's called behavioral activation. So whenever you do something over a long enough period of time, you're training your brain to associate a certain activity into long-term memory, into muscle memory, really. So I am training certain things. I'm training like hand-eye coordination. I'm training kind of visual spatial awareness. I am training little teeny tiny things over time. However, I won't actually improve unless I specifically target certain weak areas, like gesture drawing, right? Drawing something from reference, especially doing it quickly, like in 30 seconds or a minute. Like to be able to draw, like, let me try to draw my mouse over here. So basically I need to break it down. It's basically like it's basically like a kind of circle over here, but my mouse is like a gaming mouse, so it actually kind of tapers off over here into a sub area with an additional shape over here. I'm kind of getting cut off here, so I need to move this. So this kind of goes over this way, and then you get the little cylinder over here. That's the little mouse wheel, but there's kind of like little indentations. This is like deeper. And then you kind of have, because it's in perspective here, and so this is the right mouse button. It's going to look shorter than the left mouse button. And there we go. It goes over here, and then this kind of goes this way, and then this is like the little thing, and then you got the Logitech thing, and then Logitech. There's some light, kind of darkest over here. And then kind of some highlight areas over there, but it's like lighter. And then there's like little side buttons. Yeah, so basically we got a mouse over here. Darkest area is over here where the biggest shadow is because of the current lighting. Yeah, so we basically got a mouse. And you can see the I guess like if I want to put it in this perspective that it looked raw mushroom. You'll give me Saul's soul? That's a lot of pressure. I don't want to own someone else's soul. It's a lot of pressure, bro. See, I did something that improved my ability today. Saul Germain, I don't know what you're going on about, but we're not talking about that kind of stuff. Medicine seller from Mononoke? I don't know what that is at the moment. Unislash verse. Let me look it up. Princess Mononoke, I remember seeing that. Oh, damn. Like, yeah, she looks interesting. Or he, I don't know. Very androgynous. I'm pretty sure that's a guy, right? Not really sure though. Very non-binary appearance. A non-binary icon, the medicine seller in Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke. Oh, it's not from Princess Mononoke. It's just a show called Mononoke. Okay. Well, I've seen a lot of Japanese art styles. Usually when they draw a very androgynous male, there's certain qualities that indicate that it's not a woman. And not like a trans woman either. Like, there's certain qualities when they draw an androgynous male that they make it obvious. They make it very subtle, but very apparent that it's a male. That being said, certain characters are still like it's just obviously androgynous, like non-binary, like pure non-binary, like appearance. But then again, that's just appearance. You don't actually know somebody's gender unless they express it. And I think if people are generally expressing themselves as androgynous, that probably indicates like a very like non-binary expression. That doesn't necessarily mean that person is non-binary, but there is like a non-binary aesthetic, and everybody knows this. But I don't think a lot of people like to admit it. They know it way more normally than they think they do. Non-binary as a concept is a very like normal concept of the human mind. I think people like just make it more complicated because they're not used to thinking of people's gender that way. But like non-binary is like a pretty normal concept. I mean, think of like a robot that is non-humanoid, right? Or think of like an animal. Like if you look at a horse, we don't generally think of horses as male and female the same way we do as humans. We generally consider it as more of a like kind of biological function. But at the same time, if you want to think about like appearance, how do you really know unless you're like scientifically aware of the differences in animal sexes? Like oh, because you know that their wings are shorter if they're female, or like if you know that their wings are, their feathers are brighter if they're male, or like, you know, all these kind of things. If you know these things, that's one thing. What I'm talking about is if you're just an everyday person and you see a dog, you're not gonna like identify it as either male or female. I feel like that is the essence of non-binary. Like when you see a dog or a cat, you just see a dog or a cat. What's weird is that people anthropomorphize animals. I had basically growing up, there was like a dog that was like, had really short hair. And everybody that like met the dog would constantly say like, oh, like he's such a good dog. You're a good boy. It was a girl dog. But then there was another dog that had like kind of curly hair. It was a Springer Spaniel. Everyone called him a girl. So it shows you how mentally ill humans are. Like, like we're delusional. People call animals things that are based on human aesthetics. Like very much so. It is really kind of interesting. Do you listen to Powder Paint? Who's that? A spirit that kills bad ghosts? Oh, okay. Yeah, like androgynous, and it's like basically a spirit. Yeah, so like a spirit, is that truly a male or a female? It's just like a spirit, right? Or like a suit of armor. Like, is a suit of armor necessarily male or female? Like if there was a spirit that inhabited a suit of armor, like what makes it male or female at that point? It's not appearance, it's identity. So if you identify as a male, but you're like a dead ghost occupying a suit of armor, like, or like a completely non-humanoid appearance, what determines your gender? Like it's really something that I think people, if they truly are honest with themselves, they already understand these concepts. But they warp it around because of political nonsense. Like if you really just are honest with yourself, like is a dragon a dragon? Like, but if a dragon identifies as male, how are you going to argue with it? It's a dragon, and not because it'll just like, you know, melt you in your boots, but because it's a fucking dragon. It looks like a dragon. Like, it doesn't look like a male or female. It looks like a dragon. Okay? Or like Alien, right? Like from the, you know, the xenomorphs? Like Ridley Scott and like James Cameron, like aliens? Like the xenomorph aliens, those are female. Like they are literally female. It is literally like a non-binary looking appearance. Like, so it's like, I don't know why people are so hung up on the whole non-binary thing. It is a very real part of our existence, and it's normalized in so many elements of our understanding of the universe But when it comes to humans, somehow people lose their goddamn minds. It's mental illness that people are so hung up on whether or not somebody's male or female. Like, why don't you just, like, calm the fuck down? Like, are you upset? Like, these are the same type of people that they would not bat an eye at somebody calling a boat or a car a she. An inanimate object. Like, they call their boats by female names. They call storms by, like, gendered names. Like, mostly female. Which is kind of rooted in misogyny and sexism. Because they're like, oh, well, it's a very violent storm, so it must be female. Like, these people are weird. Society is fucked up, bro. We're animals on a floating rock in space, hurtling at, like, millions of miles a second. Going through the Milky Way galaxy that is one galaxy among, like, millions of galaxies. And basically in a completely infinite bubble of a universe that is possibly only one universe out of a multiverse that is constantly bubbling out new expanding big bangs endlessly. It's just a bunch of bubbles just bubbling around, just creating universes. There's like, it's like millions and millions and millions for all eternity, just bubbling out new universes and big bangs, creating new laws of physics with its own internal physics. Like, we're potentially only one universe out of an infinite amount of universes. And you're telling me that there's only male and female. Like, come on. That's like saying that, like, there's no such thing as aliens, and aliens will never exist. Only humans exist. Like, are you serious, bro? Believers in chat, let's go. I believe there's aliens. There has to be aliens. There's no way there's no way there can't be aliens. We're aliens. Okay? If we exist, then there's a potential for other versions of us to exist, right? Maybe even exactly with our exact genetic makeup. There might be other humans out in the universe. Not necessarily aliens, but actual other humans. Do you understand? Like in Star Wars. You blame bald people and gingers? Well, I mean, that's always a go-to. Frieza's bald. Frieza's non-binary. Frieza doesn't have like doesn't have like reproductive organs. But everybody seems to agree that most likely Frieza is a male character. Some people called Frieza a female character, which is interesting. His voice is just so sinister, both in Japanese and English. Aliens over ghosts? See, here's the thing. How can you not believe in ghosts either? Where the fuck does whatever we are go after we die? It has to exist in some form. Now, does it exist in like a fantasy setup that like is made up by humans? Unlikely. But we gotta exist in some form after we die. It's got to go somewhere, right? Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, is our current understanding of physics. So if there's something that creates consciousness, whether or not that consciousness, it is in a very unique, special configuration when we're in this human body form. But when this form dies, there's got to be something left over. Whatever that is, it might not even be aware of itself. It might not even be conscious, but it's got to exist. In some form, like electricity of some sort, like some energy, right? That just goes back into a big recycle bin or something like that. Who knows? Like a black hole. Ghosts are more likely to be real than aliens. I think both are just as likely to be real. Just like humans are just as likely to be real. The fact that we're real, we can't even verify we're real or not. We might just be a single brain hallucinating our consciousness. Like, we can't even verify that we're real. But we are. We know we're real. We experience life. We experience, like, what all the things that life offer. We experience all these things. So we can safely say that we're real. And how are we supposed to verify whether or not aliens are real when we can't even travel outside of our solar system? Humans haven't even traveled further than the moon. Like, we haven't even traveled past the moon. Let alone outside of the solar system. We might be Truman. Yeah, like Truman Show, right? That might be a possibility. Do aliens have ghosts? See, like, if there's ghosts, I think any conscious life form could create ghosts. If ghosts exist, then most likely non-human ghosts exist. But then that would also require aliens to exist. So if aliens exist and ghosts exist, then it's definitely possible that ghosts are unrelated to humans. That when we die, there's a common, like, kind of pool of energy that proliferates across all life forms, and we just go back to that. Which is why I think reincarnation is the most likely explanation of the afterlife. Like, we got to return to something, right? It makes sense. We're not going to be the same. We most likely would not experience reality anywhere near the way we feel it as when we're alive. Because we have, like, a very specific biological function. We have a brain. We have a nervous system. We receive data very differently. However, those receptors could potentially be synthesized in different ways, either biologically or artificially. So, if we create artificial intelligence and we create androids and other kind of technology for artificial intelligence to be able to exist in, I feel like ghosts are going to start having consciousness. Like, if we create AI, we give a vehicle for ghosts to be able to embody physical reality. So we're going to verify if ghosts are real or not, depending on how far we get with AI. I feel like ghosts and spirits and all that stuff, the most likely vessel for those to be able to kind of reincarnate themselves into would be AI and machines. Or maybe they're inherently glued to biological functions. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you would have to force that to happen. That sounds like a sci-fi waiting to happen. Somebody who creates AI with the very deliberate intention of making ghosts have a body in physical reality. That sounds like a really good sci-fi concept. Like, the doctor's entire research is focused on trying to maybe like his son died in a car accident, and so he like wants to prove that ghosts are real, and so he creates a machine that specifically like acts as like a beacon for like ghosts, if they exist, to return to, like act like a bait, but then he gets more than he bargains for, right? It sounds like a story, right? Do you believe demons are real? Well, what is a demon? That's really like, everybody has a different idea of what angels and demons are. So in order for something to be real, you would have to first define what it actually is. What is a demon? What is an angel? And it's like, people have different ideas. There's like biblical ideas of like angels. There's like popular culture version of what an angel is. Like, you know, like there's different cultural awareness. Like, there's so many different things that make these things what they are. So how can you verify if something is real if you can't even agree on what the definition of it is? What is a human? We don't even really fully understand what we are. So how can we prove we're real? Right? ATP. We just write the 15 episode webtoons. Quantum AI. Demons are fallen angels. That's one common perception. That's like one common iteration of the concept of demons. I actually think of demons and angels as they are a different species that involves living outside of time. They are fourth dimensional beings, possibly fifth dimensional beings, who are able to exist outside of the flow of time. And because of that, it gives them different psychological features. Their understanding of their entire world is based on being able to exit out of linear time, which makes them different. They're able to change their form. They're able to exist in ways that we would see as godly. They exist as ways that we would see as like winged creatures, right? Because that's our limited understanding of their existence. They understand reality in a way that we never can. And so my understanding of angels and demons is just that they're different creatures. And we could see that as godly or ungodly, but those are human concepts. How can we possibly judge something if we don't even understand it? I don't think it's necessarily a good and evil kind of thing. I think it's just a nature kind of thing. Like, what's the nature of a demon? What's the nature of an angel? Those are inherently human concepts. So how can we judge what a demon is? We can only judge what we like behavior based on a human lens. You can give $100 for this painting. Is this a painting? It's a drawing. It's literally ballpoint pen and green. You don't even have to beg. I just sit down and people feel sorry for me. I make more being homeless than I would with 2 jobs. I don't know if that's true or not, but good for you, man. What our favorite ice cream flavor is? I actually really like vanilla. Because it's just, just like how I like black coffee. Like, I just like the raw, even though it's vanilla, it's not like just raw, cream. But I think vanilla is just, it's simple. It's what I think of when I think of ice cream. Like, I actually separate chocolate ice cream. It's more chocolate and less ice cream. Like, I consider chocolate ice cream to be more chocolate. When I think of like ice cream, I think of vanilla ice cream. What are you drawing? Well, I drew my mouse earlier. But this is just like a freeform drawing. It's kind of abstract. It's mostly just me kind of free flow drawing and seeing what happens. I like ballpoint for this because with ballpoint, you get more through repetitive motions. So like you just get like little faint lines, right? Like if I just do faint lines, it kind of gives like a general idea, but if I repeat lines on top of another, it gets more value. So value only is created through repetition, which is really good for free flow drawing because I can basically iterate rather than kind of set everything in stone. So the cool thing about ballpoint is that you don't have to make up your mind on an individual stroke. You make up your mind through repetition, through reinforcement. So it's like the more I do this, the more this becomes tangible. And it's about making decisions multiple times. So like a single line only gains large value if I repeatedly draw over it. A single line does not determine the overarching ideas. It's multiple lines that reinforce it, which allows a really specific type of aesthetic to emerge. And it's kind of abstract at the moment, but I was also able to do a physical object. I was able to draw my mouse. Here, I could even, draw the cable. right? So like basically the cool thing about ballpoint is that it's about iteration rather than a single line. That's what I really like about ballpoint. You fish or mouse looks like a bullet bill from Mario. Not really. Oh, it kind of does. Like it's like going towards, like this is the head. No, it's my Logitech mouse, a G Hero. A G502 Hero. A smear frame of it about to throw it. Sharp angle pit. Yeah, this is kind of just an abstract amount of like, I try to like think of this is kind of an emergent idea that I've been, this past like month or so that I've been drawing. I've been drawing every single day for the past month, actually since the end of January. So like the past like I would say 5 weeks, I've been drawing every day. And the emerging like imagery that keeps happening is this idea of like biological machinery. Like machinery that is almost like meat-like or plant-like. Kind of like organically growing into itself. And I think it's kind of interesting. Very sci-fi. I don't know what other people see, but that's like when I'm drawing these things, that's what I'm seeing. And so I guess over time it'll kind of evolve into like a less abstract concept and a more embodied concept. Such a WoW junkie. You gonna play WoW today? No, I'm taking a little bit of a break. I kind of burnt out during the pre-patch. I got level 61, and I'm just collecting rested XP. We'll get back into doing Blood Furnace because I need to get that reputation grind. But I've just been kind of taking a break and taking time to myself and doing a lot of drawing. And I've been enjoying these drawing streams. I think it's really good for live stream format. I think it opens up a lot of potential for the live stream experience. That being said, then I use up all my energy and I don't really want to log into WoW. So at the moment, this is kind of like what we're doing, is just doing some drawing. And I'm just trying to show up on a consistent basis to do some drawing. Started in season 3, quit just before Lich King. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like wait too long because I don't want to wait to the end of Burning Crusade. I want to get started and get caught up and start playing endgame, and doing arenas. I really am looking forward to the Burning Crusade. I've been hyped up about it since before the pre-patch. I've never played the Burning Crusade, so this is all new to me. I played the content, but those were in later expansions like Wrath of the Lich King or Mists of Pandaria. Like I leveled my Death Knight in Mists of Pandaria, and I did dungeons. But the mechanics are very different in later expansions. So I kind of am excited to see how playing Warrior in the Burning Crusade will pan out. I really like Warrior. I don't like this whole, oh, this class is useless kind of discussion. I think that's stupid. Just play the class you want to play and do it as well as you can. And get geared up. That's really all that matters. Just fulfill your role. I can tank, I can DPS, like with the right gear, I can DPS like really well. With the right gear, I can tank really well. And plus I need to understand my kit, my abilities. I need to understand the timing. I need to understand the mechanics of individual, boss fights, all sorts of stuff. That doesn't change just because I'm playing a different class. So it's like, I'm having a blast with World of Warcraft, but I'm taking a small break. You can't draw with a pen at all. So with a ballpoint pen, obviously it's different with like rollerball or with like a dip pen or a fountain pen. And with a dip pen, it also depends on which ink you use. But with a ballpoint pen, the mechanism in the ink, it's an oil-based ink. And it's a ballpoint mechanism. You want to think very faint, invisible strokes. And then you just line them up over time. Like imperceptible pressure, if at all possible. Obviously, I am going to adjust pressure certain times, but like I'm trying to illustrate the concept. You want to use like the lightest pressure you can, but then stack them on top of each other. Think layers. Think like how a printer works, like a laser printer. It goes over itself multiple times to make things darker. So like if you just keep stacking the same strokes on top of each other, you get better value than if you press hard. If you press hard, it kind of makes things really jagged and really weird. But you make things look a lot smoother and almost like pencil if you shade by going as lightly as possible. It takes longer, but it does have better results. Now you can go in and like do slightly heavier marks to like kind of give more clear like lines and such, right? But you're still thinking the same concepts. Like you're trying to go as light as possible and you're repeating things. This is why I think actually ballpoint pen, besides pencil, but ballpoint pen as a concept is probably the best mechanical training tool you can possibly find in art, because you're going to be making motions repetitively. Like you're training your body to be able to make this, because you can't just do it. You can't just do it like with digital art, right? You could just do like light pressure and have like a solid line that is constant in pressure that will never change. With ballpoint and any physical medium, you're limited by what the physical reality of the tool does. So like the physical reality of like a Bic crystal ballpoint pen is that it works through its transparent ink, meaning that you have to layer it on top of each other to give it value. And so when you're shading with ballpoint, you're basically like just layering things on top, and you can do interesting hatching techniques by doing certain levels of value and then change directions and layer additional levels of value on top of it. And it gives you like a very interesting shading technique. Bye-bye, Uni/Verse. From a show movie called Mononoke. Oh, you guys are still talking about Medicine Seller from Pen with Balls? Exactly. Rainal. Is that like anal, but like with rain? Yeah, I really like ballpoint. That's actually what got me back into learning how to draw. Is I just started drawing with ballpoint, and I was like obsessed with it. And then it kind of evolved into, okay, well, if I want to learn various different skills, I'm going to have to also learn how to draw with like pencil. Because pencil will teach things in a very different way than ballpoint. And in fact, for a lot of fundamentals, pencil is actually the best. But I do like coming back to ballpoint, and I want to improve my ballpoint technique. And a lot of it carries over. Like nothing in art is genuinely like isolated. It's the same fundamentals, right? Of like, you know, value and shading and lighting and angles and like perspective for shortening. All like those things are going to be true no matter what medium you use. So it's just how you do it is different with each tool. So like doing value in ballpoint is different than doing value in pencil, which is different than doing value in acrylic, which is very different than doing value in watercolor. So like all these different mediums are just different ways of achieving the same thing. And so I think it's best if I focus on pencil and ballpoint for the most part, and then bring it over to other mediums like gradually as like little benchmarks of my ability. And right now I'm mostly doing freeform drawing, but look, I did a pretty accurate like drawing from a gesture drawing of my mouse. It's obviously like, you know, to be desired. Oh, it looks like yeah, I needed that. That little indent. That was not very good, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. They wanted you to draw them a picture. What the hell is this thing that you're drawing? I don't know. I'm just drawing whatever this is. Why do you guys always need something to be something? What's your addiction to realistic drawings? Anyway, it's because my ability is not very good. I don't have the ability to draw something as much. But I developed a little bit of it. So I did something today. Like I drew this mouse from reference. I did a gesture drawing. So, you know, but I'm mostly just freeform drawing whatever comes to my mind in the moment. Ballpoint requires a lot of patience, but it's also a good meditative activity. Bullet Bill needs a soul. It's not Bullet Bill, bro. What are you drawing? Well, that's my mouse, a Logitech mouse, G Hero gaming mouse. One of my viewers actually sent me this from my wish list. One of my Twitch viewers, Levi Plays. I got this like a few years ago as a gift from one of my viewers. It's pretty awesome. I actually got like a mechanical keyboard and the mouse, I believe. I'm not really but I think the keyboard eventually... Actually, no, I don't think I got a mechanical keyboard from the viewer, but... yeah, one of my viewers sent me that mouse a couple of years ago. It's weighted, so it has like little weights in it. Huh. It's hard to like manipulate it without... it's like hard to manipulate it without accidentally pressing buttons that change my my microphone stuff on OBS. What color would your lightsaber be? Probably purple. I don't know exactly what all the lightsaber colors actually mean. I think it's just literally the color of the crystal that powers it, which depends on multiple factors. But I think red is literally like the Sith chose that one specifically. Forest green. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably have a purple one or a yellow one. But I just like purple. And some people have white lightsabers. Are there black lightsabers? That'd be crazy. Imagine using it at night. At night. Yeah, it's whatever color you want it to be. There's got to be some kind of logic to it, though. Like, certain people choose different colors. Like, it's almost like a Harry Potter thing. I don't think I have it in me to use the dark side of the Force. You have to have actual, like, genuine cruelty in your heart. I feel like yellow is more like kind of like logic and like neutrality. Purple is more like... I see, the thing is, when I think of certain colors, I think of like specific characters, which doesn't necessarily mean anything about the color itself. Like when I think yellow, isn't that like there's certain characters that had yellow lightsabers? Black saber with white trim, a sword in Mandalorian. Spoilers. Not really, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff I am behind on, like crazy behind. I have not seen every single iteration of Star Wars. I know I have a lot of friends that are extremely like caught up on a lot of nerd culture, but I am really behind on a lot of stuff. I couldn't keep up with them. They're so caught up on everything, and I'm like, I gotta just find things that I enjoy, and they really enjoy it, and I don't want to force myself to enjoy things just because my friends enjoy it. And I think they're not like expecting me to, but it's just, it does feel a little bit of a disconnect, you know. Matching colors with races. Yeah, like there's different like species of races with different colors, and maybe it's just because those are the colors that were on their planet of the crystals, that the power crystals. What are you drawing? I have no idea. It's kind of abstract. It's almost like biomechanical in nature, though. Like, this is kind of an emerging pattern in my artwork these past like 5 weeks. It's almost like insect-like or plant-like, but like mechanical, like biomechanical machine, you know, mechanisms embedded with like organic material from like a plant that is almost like insect-like. It's like a concept that keeps emerging. Maybe I'll make a short story and make some artwork to go along with it on my blog. Or maybe potentially even a graphic novel. Who knows? I'm just basically just letting things emerge and then coming up with meaning over time. I'm a little bit slow when it comes to creation. I have to iterate a lot, which matches the ballpoint. Like ballpoint, you have to do a lot of iteration to make things have value. So it's almost like how I work. It takes me a lot longer to come up with creative ideas. I have to basically trial and error a lot and see what works and see what I want to focus on. And I'm also kind of bottlenecked by some very real life stress. But I'm getting advocacy, and they're making things happen. It's just happening really slowly. I'm gonna be having a new home as soon as they possibly find a match, and they're expanding their search so I can move somewhere else. I'm a little scared because I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't know what it's gonna look like. But I want to move forward with my life, and I'm tired of living here with my dad. I don't want to live his life. He's already decided his life. He doesn't care what happens to him. He doesn't want to take care of his house. He doesn't want to improve his life. I don't want to get stuck in his orbit. I don't want my life to be influenced by his values. I want to live my own life of beauty and growth and potential with relationships and career growth. And, creativity, creating things, not just sitting around doing nothing, not just like watching TV and going to work and then that's it. Like, I want to do something with myself and improve, and I am. It's just I kind of have a bottleneck because of my energy being stolen by this situation, no matter how hard I try to overcome it. But the only thing that's actually going to overcome it is physically removing myself from this environment. That's the most effective thing I can do, and I'm working on it. It's just nothing I do influences it. It's something that an external agency does, and they're working on it. So I need to just kind of relax. And so I'm focusing on drawing, like doing artwork. One of my case managers was telling me that artwork is really good for me to do. When I told her about it, she was saying it's great that you're exploring art. Like, it can really help you. She was really glad, and I've been sharing my artwork with her sometimes, because she asked for it, and so like doing artwork is helping me get through this really terrifying phase of my life. But I'm gonna look behind me later, and I'm gonna just remember this as like a very dark part of my life that was also kind of complicated, because this is also the most important transformative moment of my life. This is where I got all my surgeries to happen. So I took action. I took charge of my life, and I need to give myself, like, some credit here. Like, I've been working really hard to make my life better. But it just kind of speaks more about the external systems of the world than it does about me. Like, me, like, going full pedal to the metal created basically almost zero improvement in my life. So if I have this much trouble, how does anybody who's like given up on life supposed to have any hope? Like, I've been like pedal to the metal trying to advocate for myself for like years. So it just speaks more to the bureaucracy than it does about me. Boogeyman. Your dad is behind you? No, he's not. The fuck? Why did I look? Yeah, life is hard, but I'm doing the best I can. It's very abstract then, because it looks like a 2-year-old scribbling with a pen. I mean, pretty much. I'm pretty new to art. I'm not trying to pretend to be an artist. I'm not trying to fool anybody. I'm just doing the best I can with my ability. Like, come on. New Star Trek? I said Star Wars, not Star Trek. Star Trek's a whole nother story. I love Star Trek. Like, my favorite is Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager and Enterprise. Like, that like era of Star Trek is like my era. Like, especially like TNG and Voyager. Like, those were like childhood for me. I just remember watching them on TV. I didn't fully understand the shows when I was a kid, but like as an adult, I rewatched them, and I've seen TNG I think like 3 times at least now, and Voyager and DS9. Hey Anjum, what is your gender? Female? Females. Yeah, I mean, it's just a doodle. I'm just doodling. I literally am just scribbling. So, I don't know, what do you expect? I never said I was trying to draw anything that was like extremely detailed or artistic, or like, I'm basically just expressing myself by just kind of drawing whatever happens. Doing like different scumbling. Desktop drawer. You got a desktop in your drawer, don't you? Yeah. I don't know. I've been here for about 2 hours and 48 minutes. I don't know when I started drawing, but I think I'm about spent for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed watching me draw whatever this is. It's kind of random. Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your confidence. But, you know, it's like I'm still developing, you know, like my skills as an artist. I've only been drawing regularly for the past 5 weeks. I've attempted to draw multiple times throughout my life, and it never really stuck. And so now I'm trying to train myself to be able to just show up every single day, and we can iterate my skill and my training and exercise a little bit at a time in small iterations, because I think trying to do too much too fast will lead to burnout. Oh, thank you, Anjun. I think it'll lead to burnout too fast if I try to accelerate my training too much, because I'm not trying to get as good as fast as possible. I'm trying to develop like a long-term mindset of improvement. I'm trying to integrate this into my lifestyle. I just want to be able to learn how to draw. I've never been able to truly say that I know how to draw, and I'm still not there. So my goal is to eventually be able to look at something and be able to draw it, and have somebody look at it and know what it is and appreciate it. You know, some of those are subjective, but at the same time, like, I want to be able to draw something that people would look at and be able to, like, not have like an awkward conversation about what it is. Like my girl on high, Miss Lauren. Oh, thank you, Izzy Mays. Thank you for showing up. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for chatting with me. Obviously there's always going to be weirdos in the chat, but you know, we kind of just discard them, and I hope that they figure their life out. But you know, everybody else here who's been supportive and helpful, you're awesome, and I enjoy talking about all these different things with you, and I really enjoyed today's stream, but I need to go and get some rest and get some exercise and all sorts of the stuff that I do off stream. You know, I need to get some exercise today. I've been trying to work out pretty regularly, and I will achieve my goals. Chief Chi Morley. I will achieve my goals. I'm closer now than I've ever been before. And I know it's kind of a stupid asinine statement, but because obviously you're always getting closer, but sometimes you're not though. So, I mean, I guess it's not asinine, but I'm closer now to getting to my goals than I've ever been before. I hope you become famous. Well, I can't really control that, but what I can control is I can show up consistently and keep posting content. That's my goal. I want to control things that I want to work on, things that I can actually control. I can't control whether or not people accept me. I can't fully control whether or not I grow and become famous. I can't even control a lot of things. No, I'm not Cillian Murphy. A lot of people say that I look like Cillian Murphy, or they say like, you look like female Cillian Murphy. I'm like, I think it's just the cheekbones. Yeah, I think it's just like the cheekbones. Those are my natural cheekbones. But anyway, Pinky Blinder, you look like a girl version of Pinky Blinder actor. I don't, oh, that's the Pinky Blinder actor. Okay. Yeah. I don't even really know all this. But basically I can control how often I show up. I can control what I do when I show up, but I have a path towards, growth that involves, I need to establish the physical act of showing up, and I need to establish that so that I am not even having to try, I can still show up, and I can achieve something. But then I can redirect the energy over time and be like, okay, let's optimize. Like, now that I'm showing up, what are we going to do when we show up? That's like something that takes a lot longer. Especially for me, I have a really hard time locking things in. But once I lock them in, it's very strong. I have a very gifted intelligence. But I'm also slower. And I've known this my whole life. That, like, it might take me longer to do something regularly and consistently, especially if it's something that is not something that you can get good at immediately. Like, you can't just study how to be an artist and then the more you read, the better you get. Like, no, you have to actually show up little teeny tiny bursts over time. Yeah, Rhea Seahorn. you have to just do little tiny increments over time, and you can't rush it. So things like drawing, but also, I'm doing what I can to advocate for myself in a bureaucratic system that moves glacially slowly. But, you know, I'm closer now than I've ever been before because I've been advocating for myself. And they're like this close to finding a home for me. And it's going to be better than anything I've ever had before. I'm going to have the kind of stability and the level of like control over my life that I've never had before. I'm going to be able to develop strong life habits. I'm going to be able to make some real progress with my personal life, and with my career and with my relationships. It's the start of a journey that will last a lifetime. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed drawing with me today. I drew my mouse, and then I drew, you know, whatever this is. You know, I had fun drawing today. But I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.